Hi guys, my name's Alethea. This is Gotcha Covered. Today I'm going to be talking about something. Oh, my hand just farted. Today I'm going to be talking about some benefits of dressing modestly. Slightly controversial. All right, let's do this. Alright, to be honest, 16-year-old me would have been ready to throw some hands about this video. I was not a fan of modesty or modesty culture for some good reasons growing up. Part of it was just because I think I was forced to dress modestly, which, you know, no teenager wants to be forced to do anything. Another personal reason was that whenever the topic of modesty would come up in like church or small group or something, somehow I was always the poster child of modesty. Like the leader would say, "See Alethea, she dresses so modestly. All you girls should dress like her." And I hated that because first of all, I did not want anyone to look at me. I was a very self-conscious teenager. And second of all, I didn't want to be anybody's standard. I didn't like dressing modestly. I didn't like the clothes that I was wearing. And I felt no need for anybody to look like me. I didn't think that was important. It didn't feel like my life was so much more fulfilling or godly than anybody else's in the room. So for that reason, I think researching this video was a little bit more emotional for me than it probably should have been. Maybe there's some things that I haven't totally gotten over. I found a lot of lists by, I'm sure, very well-meaning people that said some things that just came across as kind of ignorant. A couple of examples would be, if you dress immodestly, then you must not respect yourself. If you dress immodestly, then you're just asking for somebody to sexually assault you, which if you hold that view, there's a really amazing museum exhibit called What Were You Wearing, where people tell their stories and show what they were wearing while they got sexually assaulted. So that's definitely eye-opening. Another one is that even if you aren't getting assaulted, then, you know, someone at least might think bad about you. To that I would say, I think any 14-year-old already has enough existential angst going on where putting them in charge of other people's thoughts is too much. Definitely too much. I don't want this video to just be me like bashing people that I think are probably genuinely sweet people. That's not what it's about. It's actually like giving my own personal reasons for why I think modesty is good, which is kind of weird for me to say because this is kind of an anticlimactic confession to make, but I didn't dress super modestly before I started this channel. At least according to my own idea of what modesty is. I moved out of my parents' house and just dressed in whatever way was normal, you know, little booty shorts, tank tops, easy. It's hot outside where I live, so it just made sense to me. But since I was like, okay, I really want to make this channel and talk about like modest fashion and give people other options besides just like the, you know, frumpy stuff that is out there right now, I kind of found that dressing modestly just made me feel more comfortable. It really did. I remember I put on this like outfit where it's just this midi striped skirt that I own and a black t-shirt, and I just went to Jamba Juice to get a smoothie. And while I was out, I was like, wow, this feels really nice. Like I kind of felt like I had like come home in my clothing, and maybe some other people have experienced this, but I just felt really natural in those clothes instead of feeling like something was cutting off my circulation or I couldn't move in a certain way while I was wearing something. It's just easy. My next reason is that dress codes cannot touch you if you are already dressing modestly. So I went to this homeschool co-op in high school. A co-op is basically just school, but twice a week, and it's for homeschoolers. And they had a dress code, and once in a while, you know, a teacher would bring out that like dreaded ruler and would like measure some poor girl's skirt to like make sure that it was long enough. I just never had to worry about that. I never even looked at the dress code because I knew whatever standard they had could not possibly touch the standards that my mom had. So it was just nice in a way to just not have to worry about that at school. Going into more of a professional life, if you dress modestly, your casual clothing and your work clothing are very interchangeable. You'll have a lot of pieces that could just like go either way, and at least for how things are right now, I feel like dressing, I hate using this word, but like immodestly is seen as unprofessional, and if you just naturally dress that way, you'll never really run into that situation. All right, this hopefully isn't too much of a stretch, but I really think it can help with your confidence. There's a really cool study by Dove, it's called the Self-Esteem Project. They found that 6 out of 10 girls will skip an event because they're self-conscious about their body. That would include like a swim party or playing a sport that they really like, even raising their hand in class because they don't want people to look at them. As much as I genuinely appreciate the body positivity movement normalizing things like acne, stretch marks, body hair, cellulite. I genuinely agree with that sentiment that people shouldn't feel bad about the things that they naturally have. But me personally, I don't feel comfortable putting those things out for the general public to scrutinize. That's really not my style. I feel way more confident if I am a little bit more covered and a lot of those things just aren't showing and I don't have to worry about it. It's way easier for me to stop focusing on myself and start focusing on the things that I genuinely like to do, like the things that I'm actually confident about, like my skills in a certain area, or contributing to a project, or just laughing at a joke instead of thinking, oh gosh, are people like gonna notice that? Insert whatever thing I'm self-conscious about. I feel like that's especially true with like young girls. The Dove self-esteem study was targeted specifically at girls between the ages of 11 and 14. I like vividly remember that awkward time in my life, and I feel like throwing in like booty shorts and swimsuits into the mix would just make things so much worse. Kind of going along with the confidence thing, dressing modestly just eradicates wardrobe malfunctions. Not having to like do this when you lean over, or like worry about like pulling your skirt down if it's riding up too high, or just little things like that that, at least for me, like I'm constantly thinking about if I'm wearing something that's like a little borderline. It's just nice to not have to worry about it, you know? I like putting on something and then 2 hours later literally forgetting about it. It's a good feeling. My last reason is that when you have the idea of like modesty in mind, it's way easier to find clothes that are gonna last a really long time. I feel like a lot of those trendy pieces are a little bit more revealing, and I don't think that's like some like conspiracy. It's just like how it goes. If there's something that designers know is gonna be really like flash in the pan piece, they don't really want to put that much of an investment on it because they know that they're not gonna be selling that for very long. So they might take a loss on that. So as little as they can put in, the better. And a really great way to like cut your costs is to have less fabric. Less materials, less money. And that way they can sell that piece and be on trend and sell whatever thing is that like people are buying, but not lose money while they're at it. So yeah, if you're just thinking about modesty while you're shopping, most of the time you're just gonna skip over those pieces anyways, and you'll have more of that like capsule wardrobe look. And it's just nice to not have to throw out your clothes, you know? It's less waste and you get to spend less money. Those were my reasons for why I think dressing modestly has good sides to it. I feel like a lot of times people will look at modesty culture, myself included, and will want to throw out the whole thing instead of realizing that there's some actual like good reasons in there. Hopefully this video showed some of the good sides of it. I'm sure other people have their reasons for it, and actually if you do have some reasons for dressing modestly or reasons why you do not dress modestly, I'm actually genuinely curious about what they are, so please leave me a comment below. I really want to hear what your thoughts are about this. And if you enjoyed this video, please give me a like. If you did not, you know what, throw a dislike up there. And both of you, subscribe. I'll see you next time.